down, keep your eyes closed, ear to the ground, pick up.
Welcome back to Sheeko Sheeko, guys. We are still with our panelists that we just did. We just talked about, systemic racism and whatnot. But we have some new people, so let's do an intro all over again. Bueller, we're going to start with you.
Bueller. Yes.
All right.
You guys know me.
Start.
Kareem.
Man.
Okay.
You got to say your name, though.
LJ.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And you, sir? Sorry?
Abdul Fattah.
All right, Iman, thank you so much for joining us. Abdul Fattah, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know this is your first time. Hope you're liking it so far.
I'm loving it.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time.
Amazing, I love it. So we just talked about racism in Canada, in the US, and all that not so good stuff that's happening right now in today's world. Kind of leading on from that, let's talk about the documentary that Vice put on that's called This is Dixon.
They call us names, gun, blood. I could take your AK-47 apart and put it back together. I can do it.
The way the media says we have gangs, I don't think we have gangs.
The people who live in the community either don't know or they want to be in denial.
Bunch of guys chilling together, girls chilling together. That's my definition. But what's your definition of a gang?
But first of all, give me a little background. What is Dixon? Where is Dixon? What is this all about for people that have not seen the documentary?
Well, Dixon is where Somalis, when they first came to Canada, it's the hope that Somalis felt, they could make home. So Dixon has a very positive history. Dixon over the years produced a lot of talent, put a lot of young people, in schools, and a lot of them became, doctors and engineers and accountants and whatnot, and give a lot of, give hope to a lot of parents. Majority of Dixon, I would say 80% of the young people in our community are succeeding. And the other 20%, in my humble opinion, are struggling. And that struggle, it requires an action plan. And that action plan, it requires people who are committed, dedicated, you know what I mean? People who will climb the interests of Somalia for a mountain.
Who's seen it?
I've seen it.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly. Pretty sure you are.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So everybody has seen it. Before we even start, what were your I want to know your feelings. After you watched that documentary, what was that one feeling that you felt afterwards? And anybody could go first. Go ahead. Free for all. Bueller.
Yeah, well, I felt, I don't know, I was a little bit, my stomach hurt. It was, it was a bit muddy. I understand what they were trying to do with, I guess, with the whole trying to expose a gang subculture there. But, I felt like there was a little irresponsibility on their part there. And it was a lot of theatrics going on. It was bad.
For example?
So they're saying there's, gang members in Dixon, and they're using a music video.
Right.
Whereas all music videos are there for theatricality and for to entertainment value, right?
Dixon residents deny the Bloods exist. But one thing propelling their detractors are independent rap videos produced by young artists like Rose Carter.
Best yayo, tell them zombies bring them spoons out. That's what got my brothers locked up in themselves.
Value, right? Yeah. To sell a story. To sell anything. It's just for sale. It's a commercial. You know what I mean? And for them to use that as ammunition to paint this picture of, there's a lot of gangsterism and whatnot going on. There's criminals everywhere. You know what I mean? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I understand. But to kind of broad strokes to the brush, just everybody out. One biggest cuts of gangsters, gang. That's bogus and bullshit. I didn't appreciate it.
What about you guys? Who else?
I didn't think it was like that. The narrative of how I saw it, there is a allegation of a gang, there is a story of a gang, and they wanted to show whether if it's true or if it's not. So I think they went in there not necessarily saying that there is a Dixon blood gang, but they're going, well, this is how the media portrayed it, and we're gonna go and kind of investigate it. They never said Dixon Blood exists or Dixon Blood doesn't exist. They just took the stories of people within there, got permission to obviously do it, went in there and told their stories.
Right.
And that was it. It wasn't like they were making up lies. They're saying, does this gang exist or not? That was the whole question of the documentary.
Yeah.
Is this real, or was this more of a political issue that's done within the, with police and everything above that? They never said, this is Dixon, this is all of Dixon, and this is the only thing they do. They're saying, this is what's going around, this is the rumor, this is the story, and here it is. It's Vice at the end of the day. The way they give narratives, not the same way CTV would give narrative, or CNN would give narrative. It's Vice.
I understand what you mean, but I think it was more of the tone, right? Like, I mean, it's the way it sounds, the way it comes off, they're pushing it more in that direction.
And I would say with Bueller also, they did title the documentary Dixon City Bloods, which is a statement in and of itself. They didn't say Dixon City Bloods ?
No.
What do you think the purpose of this documentary was? Now, when I watched the documentary, I watched it as well, and I may be naive to say this, but I thought the documentary, the purpose of it was just to find out if there was gang relations in Dixon, right? What do you think the purpose of the documentary was?
Well, I'm not sure. I basically agree with Bueller that they what's Vice and I actually consume a lot of Vice Land. I watch Vice. I actually enjoy Vice in most of their documentaries, and I think really what they wanted to do is just make some money, man. At the end of the day, it's a for-profit organization.
Yeah.
So, and they wanted to just talk about, they see gun violence happening in the city, and they wanted to talk about Dixon. That's all it was.
Yeah.
They could have chosen another community too. I'm not sure if they're doing that. I don't know if there's a part 2, some other place, Jungle or like Scarborough or some other place, but violence happens everywhere, not just in Toronto.
Yeah. Kareem, you're nodding your head in agreement.
Well, it's the part that Sumiter said, that they're a for-profit organization, right? So how does Vice make their money, right? They make content that people consume. They get views, they get advertisement, they win awards. That's their bread and butter, right? So you got to view what they were putting together with the film of they're trying to get as many viewers, they're trying to get as much attention. So whether they're upplaying the gangs or the violence or all these sorts of things, they're doing it not because they're in their top 100 reasons why. Number 75 is they want to tell what actually happens in Dixon. The first 74 are, we got to make money, right? So mentions of Rob Ford, crack, all these sorts of things are people in the Toronto community that are going to be watching Vice Canada, things that they can pick up on, things that the media has already shown over the last 3 years that the society has an appetite for.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, it was dollars and cents. Like they were trying to make a documentary that would get them views and make money, right?
And not to mention an attention-grabbing headline with the Dixon City Bloods, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they didn't say West Toronto possible gang relations. That's not gonna fly.
Is there a gang problem in Dixon? Maybe if they ask it like that.
In all things in life, you got to look at what people's what their incentives are and what their motives are.
Right.
Vice is a for-profit company. They're trying to make entertainment that we consume. Just like when you go and watch a movie in the theater, they're trying to pull you in.
Understood. Yeah. LJ, speaking of Rob Ford, you know the story. First of all, Rob Ford was our ex-mayor. He passed away. Peace upon him, But that being said, speaking of Rob Ford, how come the documentary didn't go into in-depth the Rob Ford crack situation, right?
He was known to publicize having allies in poor areas of the city. But when news broke that Ford had been caught on camera smoking crack, media coverage exploded. And that video was allegedly shot in a house near Dixon.
Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine. I'd like to see this tape. I don't even recall the...
Right? They kind of surfaced on it. You watch a documentary as well.
Yeah.
What do you think was the reasons why they didn't go into in-depth discovery of like what that relation was with the Dixon Bloods?
Yeah, so pretty much the way I looked at the documentary was, it was more of a question. And the way they were trying to explain it is, what is the Dixon Bloods? Does the Dixon Bloods exist? Yeah. Are they, who started the Dixon Bloods? You know what I mean? I don't know who started the Dixon Bloods, like in the newspapers, because they've been calling it's been labeled the whole time.
Right.
Dixon City Bloods.
Right.
I've been in Dixon for about 10 years of my life. And I've never seen anybody running around saying Dixon Bloods.
Do they
City
exist?
Bloods.
Is the question?
Like
no.
this name, where the media fabricated this name.
Okay.
The media fabricated this name.
Does the gang exist or no? Is there a gang?